Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Am
It's
I audible
audible.
to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, today is the first day for this orientation, and I would like to introduce myself. I myself, Chingkhei, and see, I'm going to take your class for, say English orientation for exam. And first of all, before I start my lecture in particular, let me say something about myself. See, we need to maintain a beautiful decorum in the class because the class is meant for you, and moreover, this is a virtual classroom, so you need to maintain, say certain things. So when you want to ask any question, you need to just raise your question. There's nothing wrong at that, but I don't want any kind of chaos in the class. If somebody makes a noise or say some sort of messy, in ambience, I think that might suddenly cause some kind of problem. So anyway, as I have written down here, bank orientation here, general English. Say before I start this free class, and let me ask you about your personal experience. Banking had exam thabi mi yawra exam ki knowledge leba yarum basu yai exam ki knowledge leba habadi banking se kamai thaga dagi roina bank any bank tham tamda any banking exam tham tamda SBI gi ni khangde RBI ni khangde natraga se IBPS ni khangde any exam tham tamda khoina maroina focus to the pocha karino haibam tamda se han exam thabiyo sing dubudi han khangamani exam kamai thaga dagi kamai tawdagi to ko ado ngasi gi wenadi English orientation sida maroina. So let me talk about pattern of exam. Pattern of examination here. All right, we need to know how to prepare well enough. Say how should we prepare technically, and the technicalities of examination should be properly understood. Then we need to know syllabus of exam. Then say si magi pattern si kaino exam ki pattern si kaino exam syllabus ni kaino mo ta khang mathau ta gani ko. Then say sida ina focus to receive thing magi syllabus sida error detection, okay, fill in the blanks, reading comprehension, pair example, okay, then word swap, sentence connectors, sentence correction, or we can say close states. Sigi magi parameters mayam si yam gre ko. The stage da khoina khang da basi maroina any exam tha matam da say yung grammar based question habam lagini ko. Then number 2 da vocab based question habam lagini. Then number 3 da say comprehension based question. And last thing is descriptive English. I would the essay kamai gidagi ko letter kamai gidagi have any comorina. Then descriptive English is compulsory ni. Adana koina today ngo bagi magi pattern is that prelim qualified to matamda main sum thara main sum matamda descriptive lag descriptive to lag to kano essay kamai gidagi letter kamai gidagi have any. Other CFC is when a toy the via de ko. I would the essay me matamda essay marina say 250 word limit nisi ko word exit away at the echo. Then letter I think that I can 150 words ni 150 words here. She's word exit away the heady word limit simasi hento pay at the point even tamda adana sigi more of mangi writing skill I bet I recall I did writing skill same as kamaina koina improve the good have to do katang magi systematic magi analysis have darga legani adi koina say cover paba cover si editorial page gumba paba ko samna harabada koigi non fiction ko or fictional books gumba khar paba mathau tagani paraga di nga concept to khangani kamaina me suppose kalam nisni iba magi editor ni iba ma editorial page iba magi writing skill du su dum madugi mini ibi mong su tum tamakani ungti sum parak taraga di ko then say koigi non fictional books kana ko may pa am haina biyawi adigi say fictional books pa am haina biyawi apart from textbooks ko adu mo pa badu nga sai nangi writing skills sida phasana hiding enhance to gani ko hiding kamai to raga ibagi my pattern literature city have the language ki my literature have city tonga le Indian author ni ibit pattern to ga then say American author ni ibit pattern to ga or say English writer mi pattern to ga mana deba amta akoina literature wafam nate kamai to raga koi sentence kamai frame to wa kamai address to ga tang do ni ko ta ai samaksu hadi research ki field the queen le mini haibadi ngasai gi ai gi isamak PhD ko 2014 na loibani adu matung tar pada post doctoral fellow na queen thabak tarami ko adana ngasai gi ai haning idi reading skill gi matang sungari writing skill gi matang sungari amna sugai na koina adi ngasai gi chin na ngam khatana te adi practical approach ta adi nainaraga haibadi kamaina igidagi nang ibrusu ne check tawwa ko mana one to one adi interaction tawraga di hena nungai ba pone du online sena di masina di kitang di ai hole platform se kitang jana de ko haibadi ngasai gi assessment tawda kitang di wa gani anyway madu su dum hona si kamai to ko de ke ko adana sida yongo sida prelim da maroina 30 questions se kamana hangbajano aduga mains 35 question kamai hangbajano any magi se pana SBI ki dekhang de or RBI ki dekhang de or IBPS ki dekhang de any exam ma conduct to my commission ma'am dana mana by question setter na taga ma sahi magi pattern to matunge na adi exam to adi exam in 30 marks dekhang de na 35 marks dekhang de si question sing mo pattern ni matung na matang change to buni ko adana adubu sai pattern to change to raga su say way back 2010 ki mamangi question do uzik check to matam khena gani ko then 2010 and 2015 bagi mark le my question pattern do adu khena gani ba the question is the my pattern is the matung na sum hengalak pa hedi hen lusalak pa duni aduna madu su ai screen share to kan ta ke ari kamai na kari lege do ko haibadi uzik pattern 2022 yamana 2021 ki question do screen share to kan da check to se ko kamai to raga khona adi prepare to godage do aduga ai sa hai ge baduni sida grammar descriptive cd essay baduni ko essay na letter e baduni sida grammar based questions hai grammar based questions se kana matam da se samna bata error detection hai re tai ko ana error detection se kana sentence sama pyramid sentence da kara de kari soige hai bado detect to budu bani adana sida at the maximum say 5 question mari natra manga ko madri question setter ke makha polaga su say at the maximum question manga buti shwada ha kaneba adana error detection sina nagi grammar based questions lere another thing sentence improvement ko sentence improvement or sentence correction sishu masisu almost the same pattern amatani ko haibadi sige pattern sishu grammar based question ni sisu mangai 3 to 4 questions sila ani similar then okay then say vocab based hadin nang word building ko vocabulary based question se aso ke matik yam gre aduna kamai to ge bu close test hare close test si masi kaino paragraph am pyramid khalasi ko aine hairi si kana ko exam hana tharam kang budi unnecessary da dum ngang le khalam bujue ko dum ko hana tha de kang bu sing da it's very necessary aduna close test kana paragraph amani paragraph se blank man pyramid ko ado sida hangdre my number of questions se kano at the maximum 10 adudi question tara question si adi mark tara ni ko lakte se aduna question tara ko mark tara sida sisu dum hoi variation khara lakpe ni pan hangbe tere hangbe adum ko maximum de se tara hang aduga bagi question amani gi dena paragraph fill up to by it's a big deal all right so we need to just fill the right word in the paragraph close this sima compulsory in the book vocab the base of question na mani yare ko similar then say word swap asne kano suppose sentence and pyramid khalasi amasi madugi example to so ko naina si adana word swap se kano sentence and pyramid tamda sentence to da okay say word mayam pyramid khalasi a b c adaga d na pyramid khalasi sentence amada ko haiba a ga b ga c ga d ga do madu sequence semtokpa meaning chana matung na sequence semtokpa tu buni madu bu kari ko the word swap to ko adana word building ti phadana haibadi tangai phadana word building se improve to do yadi haibadi exam qualify to ge na khan taragadi word building ti tangai phadana improve to do bani ko sisima lere then yengo this is the fill in the blank haibam yauri fill in the blank se aina se classify toramde sida ani tholakani ko smana ahan bada sida yengo fill in the blanks that single filler haibam legani haibadi single blank ta fill up to single filler ko 1 2 the double filler is the kano blank to ani piram mane ba ko so double filler ko masna mains ko mata lai mains exam da lai adana pasmata adana single filler similar double filler similar adana blank single blank to na single blank to na single filler ka with double blank hai jana sina blank ani pi bu bani adana word building se word building I'm telling you say repeatedly see the importance of vocabulary or the importance of your command over say words or vocabs is much needed unless you have good command over vocabulary. I mean you cannot solve certain questions based on these questions as I said fill in the blanks or maybe word swap or maybe close this so no fail we do ni kay man word building the strong ta ra ga word building tangai padana adi exam qualify tawna na ba nang wordsmith o have nate word ta expert o have nate tangai padana exam qualify tawna ba level am di ka ta di yare ba ai ba si command is word command strong ta si closest command solve taw do ri isma then word swaps is word command strong ta command solve taw do ri then fill in the blanks is word command strong ta command solve taw do ri adi yaro ba ko admai tawdana then okay then reading comprehension and see comprehension based of parakanda passage si parakanda haibadi say passage given passage and the parang halasi parakanda hangde question do koina momentana haibadi sai ki passage kari harige this is I am haige implication am lagani ko I am PLICAGION implication oblique connotation CONNOTAGION connotation haibam lagini ko another thing explication haibam lagini EXPLICAGION adana si concept ani si kariyan se implication aja what's the meaning of implication Alice kang bro what's the meaning of implication is kanu kang bra ayo implication is kaya no implication siga explication kari khane ge see the virtual classroom that I khatana robot on sumngang man tumin leba du dia di this is not I mean this is not one sided sort of approach we need to sit down together and say share the things mutually and there should be some sort of energy I mean some sort of say synergy from both sides what's the meaning of implication and what's the meaning of explication ani sigi variation se kai no hai ba
sir
Implication is a possible significance.
hai ro khang mayawi
implication hai ta di kanoma piram badu da gi koina conclusion derive to ba ya to oi do male
okay then explication is kai no aina pang ang bade natte ai wa mai ko
explication de khang de sir
okay Dina Chandra Konthaujam ai yunak manai ang tayo se Dina Chandra kai hai no se what's the meaning of implication or explication kai hai no se khangro blind listener di kana de ko ai seng dum hai ge khara proactive โดยมาทุกตากันนี่ก็ไอ้ที่ไอ้เนี่ยขังกับนี่ให้ระบนี่ให้นะปังงานงานไปเดินนัดแต่ว่าแต่เสียงไม่ก็ดี virtual classroom ดี if you don't respond or if you don't reciprocate what I ask and then things will become one-sided or things will become some kind of boredom ยามนั้นก็ให้แต่ class ทุกแค่แต่การนั้นแต่ว่ายามนั้น boring ไว้ว่า class มั่วนะเนี่ยก็อะดูอาหารแบบ class นี่อาหารแบบ class เดียมหังงี้ให้ตัวนั้นสุขันกันนู้ไอ้ experience ที่ไอ้นักวินาเซ่มาปานด้าตาลักก็มันทำได้ไอ้2000ก็2000 say 5 6แต่กี่ like ตักไปตัวนั้น2012พวก like ตามมีก็อะดูมาปานด้าตามมันทำได้สัตไม่ยังมาซานะเห็นอะไรที่ไหนไปที่นั่นตีมวยจีนกายเห็นนะครับproactive ไปว่าให้ว่าหิตบ่ายามหังกันบ่ขังนิ่งมันเห็นบ่ซีไอ้ word นั้นมีกี่สิกันให้หนู I N Q U I S I T I V E N E double S inquisitiveness ให้จะให้หนูสิอรุณาangom
sir.
hey hi Mr. Bo what's the meaning of inquisitiveness
Sir, khangdre.
Kai hai gi Daya Sagar Ming Yam Pazeng ka hai use kai hai Mr. Bo what's the meaning of inquisitiveness Kai khangde
sir.
Dipalini what's the meaning of inquisitiveness Khang bro
Sir, magi meaning say investigation or do
Sir, curious oy buto oy do ma.
Inquisitiveness hai zero inquisitiveness hai tar ka di si ai ba mai ko ai ko hai si nei na bane si yong ga hujik ai na khoi da exam si gi mai gi outline pithok pa khatani I haven't started teaching anything yet I came to talk for sunatri ko and you don't know me either nang na khoi na so ai ju kana no phasana khang bu sunatri ai na su na khoi kana no phasana khang bu sunatri but still I'm trying to make it a mutual bond which is really inevitable for further interactions that is definitely sort of affinity adun sini inquisitiveness karino kan na hangi set ai na hangi second word si phaza word ni ko sida ai si meaning si ba hiding si mo hangjilen khalambe implication is ni kaino ngasai si implication hai tar di connotation hai bu sam mane taseng ba di suppose nang sentence ma ta hai re ba Gandhi ki magi statement am ta kari hai ge bu Gandhi ni truth is God hai achum ba ji short ni na hai truth is God hai ba se masigi statement masigi implication hai ta manung nung da phumi ba what is being implied what is being what concealed or what is being expressed reflect tori ba express tori po to manang nung da phumi po to madu bu kari ko ga ta ti implication ko we have implication have is ka connotation of sab mane explication has ne kaino si batang sa ikrai dila khim tam da passage pa ma tam da ani thole se implication have ma nung da kari phumi ge kari haining ge author ge tone na kaino author na kari pa mi assumption na kaino ga na madu ge implication madu du implication ko manang da phumi ba ha ni duga explication has ne kaino phum na ta ba masana phongdo iba say in terms of facts and figure the p di po to madu kari ko ga da explication ko ha ni khangani ko se similar inquisitiveness at time tan inquisitiveness ha tar ga di khangning ba haining ba ya darabo khangning ba haining ba yamna khaurang ba hai bane ka hai na khaurang ba ka hai na khangning ba the great scientists in the history of mankind as they had this inquisitiveness in their mind so they discovered new things yan darabo aduna inquisitive oibam darka le mi exam the power gain kan target din inquisitive odi kai just blindly class yauri bani na ngak tang sida ai na ngang ba khara ta khara I aduna di ya something you need to do beyond that ai class po ngasi class lo reba ai sik adu du law mai thokpa ai gi duty ne na ai na commitment pi ro class lo ngam ngani na law me all right at this moment I'm saying something and you listen to me after some time maybe I'll certainly go from here. Maybe I may not come next week or the next week. Like the basu I want my game. I nasana zo kay mukha exams power gain akalagadi. Exams power the at the end kan targadi. You should have this inquisitiveness. See am dargale see like target then kamai vocabulary kamai building vocabulary kamai to sige word building kamai to sige ai grammar ke skills se kamai to na I think skills kamai na I think hen maya thon sige khala ne I think nang writing skills I guarantee big nang descriptive English se I ne kare sida 250 words ni 150 words in letter I think the SAM ti nang noi phamin noi hum phu se I examine to give kanana phasana I kana phasana I nang sida method kanana nang degree si MA ni adigi MAC ni ko M.Com ni or nang B.Tech M technique kashu method to de writing skill level nang na kayam toina I bage adnang language ki proficiency kalida khangyam dam nang sin wahi wata sentence structure aduna editorial page pa hai ni editorial page pa ma tam da mini editorial page line even at mini even mini report kamai ni ige mi amana khallaga magi phazaba magi current issue to the current scenario to the politics of the economy of the social issue of the pattern yang tar nang sunang matok tam mi bas nei matok tam be kamai to ra haisi kamai tam jara bo mai to na something you should do beyond that classroom sigi say so let's do something out of the box ai na ngang ba sikatang na chumin na khan ko nang nasana ju khanjo ha no khoi mark su sahi ma degi preparation to ko syo ngani sahi ani preparation to syo ngani su phau de syo ngani prelim par ga mains phau de syo ngani mapan na su ko ina lek ko syo ngani mapan na tam coaching yaw ko syo ngani ai sam mapan ta lein 2005 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 sahi ni pan mapan da like ta lein ko duga adu mapan ge environment na kaino su khange mapan na kai material phange su khange was mapan ha bile tebon ha bile de sama ne nang na sa hona da kai kan dunu dili de sahi mo coaching yaw ro ga su nang na phasana hona da dik upai le te mi there's no way out there is no shortcut for for say achieving your target because we need to we need to be pertinacious strong volition to succeed in our attempt. You might get failed in one time, second time, third time, multiple times. Adunang madudan nang ningan na target di kasi ay oiroro ay sahi masir oiroro ang kalaga di yaro eba. Kaya boss may to na ay kitang hona ba mag sanggi ko aduna ay na pangay sa masya punte ko ay di magpagi interaction ni ay na ay di kasi impression pazana madi nga pangang nangang mo do asing madi ko na kang tolere mo neba I didn't know impressed to know ni ko na I don't want to bluff. I mean, say being say deceptive is committing a sin, say by yourself. And that being deceptive di kang na. I bedi koigi mingon da longnam to budo madu deceptive ba ko dro da deceptive ba di phatti da na sing na make sing na clear picture da I hiding is kanon tam da any exam tham to sigi sida p divine parameter say 1 2 3 4 si hide ba so yate si hita ga dia ni grammar do mo ta na khangwo grammar da so haige grammar da khoi ne do se kai no any exam tham tam da number 1 say tense kadana khang da ya 1 number 2 the power of speech power of speech is the high live one it's mayam yaw is that noun pronoun adu da mayam like ko noun pronoun verb adverb mayam like then say power of speech then number 3 even quite a lie have article though articles is jum darga like ko number 4 say number 4 conditionals hi the sigi pattern ma'am see ꯃꯈꯜ ꯃꯊꯦꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯐꯣꯀꯁ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯃꯔꯒꯤ ꯀꯚꯔꯦꯖ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯃꯔꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯁꯂꯦꯅꯤꯌꯁ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯦ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯦꯞꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯀꯦꯁꯦꯁ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯅꯩꯅꯁꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯈꯪꯖꯔꯝꯕ ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯏꯟꯇꯔꯃꯤꯗꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁꯦꯁꯇ ꯅꯩꯅꯈꯤꯕ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ 10 ꯐꯥꯎꯗ ꯅꯪ ꯅꯩꯅꯈꯤꯕ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯖꯨꯑꯦꯁꯟꯗ ꯅꯪꯅ ꯍꯩꯈꯤꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯜꯗꯨ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯅꯧꯍꯧꯅꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯁꯥꯔꯄꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯃꯌꯥ ꯊꯣꯜꯂꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝꯗꯣ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯂꯤꯐꯥꯏ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯣꯏꯅꯦꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯕꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯣ ꯀꯣ ꯁꯤ ꯃꯉꯥ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯤꯡꯕꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝ ꯊꯥꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯕꯦꯡꯀꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯋꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯂꯩꯇꯦꯀꯣ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟꯇꯦꯜ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ SSCꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝ ꯊꯥꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯄꯦꯔꯥꯃꯤꯇꯔꯁ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯐꯦꯛꯇꯔꯁꯦ 1 2 3 4 ꯁꯤ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯔꯣꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯅꯪ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯂꯤꯐꯥꯏ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯉꯝꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯃ ꯍꯥꯏꯒꯦ ꯁꯤ ꯀꯣꯝꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯁꯟꯁꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯍꯥꯏꯌꯨ ꯀꯣꯝꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯁꯟꯁꯤ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯅ ꯈꯥꯏꯗꯣꯛꯏꯀꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯀꯣꯝꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯟꯁꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯄꯥꯔꯒ ꯁꯣꯜꯕ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯅꯦꯕ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯟꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯃ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯂꯣꯡ ꯄꯦꯁꯦꯖ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯩꯒꯅꯤ ꯄꯦꯁꯦꯖ ꯑꯁꯥꯡꯕꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯁꯣꯔꯠ ꯄꯦꯁꯦꯖ ꯑꯇꯦꯟꯕꯁꯤꯅ sina short passage sina ten bane ko aduna banking da aten passage hangdeba na khanggadamna banking da di aten passage hangdeba asang passage hangtena hangji aduna paabasi su nang manually nangi koigi nangi hek mit mamang makta manual saigi chi du hard copy do paado su nate nang tawdu se kano you have what you have a reading on your screen da nang yeng phangani yengi potu nang na ari saigi A4 size ko amadagi amaga makhai amuk lakane si comprehension jidi sangdoineba adu sida theme ju makal maroina hanganbadi economic reforms economic policies monetary policies banking related topic ata lakaneba inflation deflation world economy whatever mayam si lani sida dina comprehension sida asang passage la aten passage sidi aten passage sing sidi SSC ko mandangmani adana passage su jam challenging oin lo ai da magtadi adana sida passage paba tanba su yaro ko adana word command le ta di passage paba sidi pura flop jala ne basi jima ko adana sida maroina passage sida aina sida idamgani synonyms haiba ma antonyms haiba ma ange ko synonyms haiba similar meaning word haiba ni antonyms haiba ne kano opposite meaning word haiba ne the high basic reading comprehension sisu masida synonym antonym sisu I think sai ki question tara hare at mark tara si synonym digi mark amantra ani se abdi so with reference to the given passage to the highlight of a word ama we ani we so idana hangane abse banking da mana synonyms or antonyms hangane samai to dana sai ki synonym antonym to ana especially hangada banate say with reference to the passage to matungena a question of synonym or maybe 2 questions of antonym will certainly come out of that senior so mai to dan lakane ko then adi muksu paraxample dum lakse paraxample se kano paraxample si nangi si comprehension the base to ni ko parani sentence paragraph and adi sentence akogi se mangana sarambe tarun sarambe nadraga sentence tare sarambe sentence jumble to bane basi jumble to badi sentence rearrange to ngai sentence adi magi sequence piram de bane pi di ba sentence to sequence na same du bane ko paraxample haise so mai to dana sigi pattern si koi kano to si abidi question do na si ko adu mayam su involve to ro aduga hojik screen share to rake aduga screen share to rakanda koi naina se ko ai ko yung si canonical si previous banking previous year question have any a banking previous year question sida paroina yung ko si column sida part 1 had 2 columns are given in each question and each column has 3 phrases adi column si ani pire ko adi column si ani lere pire column sida sentence A B C ne khaidwe A B C D E F na khaidwe I sentence P the sigi latest pattern ni ko se adana munna focus toro adi kamai to ko na si adi exam da hangi post se kari no to bhajana ko muk naina re se ko adana sida si 2020 ko 2021 gi question ngakta ni adana sida si question si yung mana hare choose the most suitable pair. Choose the most suitable pair of phrases which makes a grammatically correct and contextually coherent statement. Statement si grammatically chumba aduga contextually habadi magi meaning du matung nasu chanaba coherently means adi meaning du ka chunaba oiba aduga statement du kana sida most pair in the sense maybe say a b c sida sim sigi pairs malere sigi pair habadi sigi sentence column sida hadi pattern nama lere another sigi pattern sida musiki samjana do ni d e f sigi samjana do ne ada sigi pattern si taseng bagi di nangi reading skills e kadai pa mamuta na khang bagi how much you understand and what's your say say confidence in making sentences properly. Now anyway we have these column 1 and column 2 similarly a b c is the sequence same as ever go tabnat row
Yes, sir.
si column a ga b ga si akona sequence same do ne same by budi kana matam da p the sentence structure si ka adi p the sentence structure ani si amaga akona amaga adi ka hetare pairing same do ne yo ai par ke ngo a the kare hai a is say the regulator did not wait for sufficient safety and efficacy data to be collected. B them kari hare regulator A them kari regulator do na magi sufficient did not wait ngai kide for sufficient safety kadam ngai kide kaino ngai tise and efficacy efficacy everything am strong ba effective data to be collected. Kari to refer to them ying se ko B the kari hare if there is already some degree of apprehension fear about the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines. Conditionally man, if there is already some degree of COVID-19 vaccine safety and efficacy. Efficacy means strong some sort of apprehension then see them if the answers to those questions are affirmative kariguma wahang dugi answer like paukum duna affirmative or positive or then adu dedicate rani haibama d dam yango the opaque nature of the approval process has done little to mitigate such concerns. Opaque adi udabudumani ko see through udabudumani the opaque nature unseen nature of approval process. Unseen nature means approval dugi unseen nature do the unseen nature of the approval process has done little means yamdaba almost nothing to mitigate over the kano to lessen abadi handhanba karida adi phatabada handhanba to mitigate such concerns. Then either kai hai and did not share information about the clinical trials before granting approval haibam hai after made assumptions about increasing rates of technological process is very reasonable. Now we have these sentences A, B, C, D, E, F. And we need to make sequence like trying to make a pair of sentences between say BD, options given here, BD, AE, and BD, then CD, okay, and BF, or AE and CF, or either AE, BD, BF and a period. Si sequence we say matok tarane. Adu dadi munna pa matok tarani. Munna pa kan si sentence sequence kamay na adi si period sentence di kamay to na proper pair adi perfect pair kayo the game. Now think about it.
Sir,
Hala,
option
answer
B.
Option B.
Option C de.
C.
Option C
D.
Option C at mal.
C.
Option B mal.
Option
D man.
Okay.
Sir, option C ne.
C. Okay.
Yes, C.
Option C did not take go. ai wa ge sidisida kana sida option B ni haiba sing chumme aduga option se ama haige sidisida kamai toge bu A ga E ga yung ko the regulator did not wait patience leji go patience leji kitang adi ngasai meet 16 pama mi adi aina ngang man tani ngam du I don't know adu patience leji ko the regulator did not wait for sufficient safety and efficacy data to be collected haraga kay harani and did not share information about the clinical trials before granting approval haiganem is if there is already some degree of apprehension about the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines, the opaque nature of the approval process has done little to mitigate such concerns. I think Siga, Siga F Siga Kamaito Gamatunda, Sig F if the answers to those questions are affirmative, then made having more than then making assumptions that is MAD made pass making assumptions the sentence will be certainly correct. Adana la libasika MAD made to the land. Do target C F we can certainly make a pair of A, E, and B. So final answer is B. C ni course matter na sige pattern C. Latest pattern is it. Yam line na sukhalu nu adi yam lu na sukhalu tabudu banang technical know how to kang the yar with na. Next mo yang ko. These regulatory bodies and committee have remained silent. More than being a scientific methodology. See, the coercive attempt, the forceful, coercive means what? The forcive attempt to falsify the lalanman to make it false happening. As study participants claims and intimidate over the kihan by that to make it threaten, to cause fear. Kihan intimidate to intimidate him or her. Similarly, violates the agreed upon rules of clinical trials. Clinical trials are a matter of human cooperation. After the impression that they are not independent scenario. Pattern si kana na mahingi se. Si pattern sung yeng se. A, B, C, D, E, F. Which option is going to be a perfect pair?
Sir, E with Omal.
That's
Sir,
very
E.
quick. Well done, well done.
Sir.
Yes, you're right. Those who have said first, I really appreciate. I mean, exam to magi can also yam tapasu ya ponte ko dum I exam the yam thunasu sop to do ni the answer se E and any see question ani khatane ba column dangis. Only two questions. Adi makha tarak pa I mean the makha tanang ngi ngase. See makha san kai nong mi ng. Now let me read the directions. In each of the questions given below, a sentence is given in which a word is highlighted. Word number highlight. Each sentence is then followed by three words. Follow to choose the word or words that can be replaced the given word in bold to make a grammatically and contextually meaningful sentence as your answer. I think word pira word to sum thok padarka le sum thok piro sum thok padarka le tardi sum thoroi aduga in case word to meaningful or you need to choose the right word from the given options. If none of the words can replace the highlighted word, then choose none can replace as the correct choice. Senior masidi grammar natte masidi. It's not a question of grammar. It's a question of verbal or your vocabulary. There is a vending machine. Number one, vending machine is a vending machine. Developed countries, for example, say Asia, in Japan, then you don't need to carry your your food packages. Only you need just as a handful of money in your car. nangi card ta paisa yaw bud darga leji ko adana nangi credit card na nang card to the suppose vending machine si machine am leni machine nangi any nang na khoi gi canned food ha tare any khoi gi packet food processed food sing si easily mai kano sida machine si thamdoi ne highway da ka do leram do ni si mi leram mo do ni you need to go there and put your card. You can just say debit your money by say while processing that thing. Nang lay matam nangi kano do nang lay suppose na chip learning kalasi na any say soft drink learning kalasi lay di poto madu machine do automatically thokchara poto vending machine kawe haba there is a vending machine on a platform that dispenses snakes ni sana nangi ko sana na ba processed food ko chips kuma lay di ko liba ko snakes sana potuni ni adudi sida mana word home pire word home sima khang da ba yaroi ba disburse to thok pa ba di yen thok pa ba ni 1 ga 3 ga meaning chap mana mani squander to ba di kai no ai ga sa hangi ba do meaning kari no hangi ba do squander to ba ta ga di mahan tan ba you waste your money you squander your money you waste your values of life you waste your properties that's definitely the word squander and possible word ni ko squander means in a sense to waste time or in terms of value or in terms of money paisa mang adi mang tan ba paisa adi nang na mang tan ba natraga se hena adi spoil to budu bune bam se ha ga di adu that is repeatable word ahum sidagi hena chana ba word amara anira natraga amato de bra do khallo what should be the answer now
B.
Option C.
C.
Option C would sir.
Option B.
Option
None
B
can replace.
yes okay option B
Sir, C
all
udah
right
mal.
okay
Option C.
B.
Sir, B.
Option C. Option
I
B
want-
way do mali sir. Disperse and distributes.
okay adi sida ne aina hiding bude ngai word se simple uzik lady ba magi question do ibadi question sige context se matungena koina wahi do habidi wahi se koina karam word chanabagi and mention hadi hapsen mani do isana su khango ba hauji hangi ba question se sumai hangboire thaina ngai ge nang 2010 wangi hangba banking question do di hek yang matanda para phagi mane ba dumana di suma hujiti hangde ba pattern jadum change tor line ne badana sida zik hai gi ba option B either you write disperses either you write distributes answer should be 1 and 3 were on FC so answer lies here B not C yan tarabo adu itaraga di
Sir, disperse
I don't-
mostly used in finance, not finance related with the sida report pitok pada sizinaba yaba.
disburse to see finance say koina sanction to budu su hai ko sanction to budu su hai adu disburse to see ngasai pithorok pasman ta sengmani maroina disburse to ba pithorok paneba adu ngasai gi distribute sai gi magi exact meaning ji kana matam disburse to hai badi my meaning se wong na one side be deba disbursement of loan bank sin ne loan do loan kai tharak pa sanction to rok pa adiki koina kana gumba fellowship tani hangde any fellowship ama project ama torin khalaji application ire aigi pending aigi kano so adi amount do madu do disburse to biro haeba phazaba word ne kindly disburse the pending amount of the project or the fellowship haiga ne madu magna disburse to by distribute my tasengma my min kan distribute to bakata ne maduna sagi one sidedly or minutely economic term da magi financial term da khatang sine habadi yadeba it is just nothing it just to give out habani yan darabo just to hand out pithok potu katane aduna so final answer is definitely B aduga dispense to ba habadi sidi yade ko sidi si meaning tongala sidi ade madudi dispense to ba meaning yam gre khaidok ko su hai ko khaidok ko divide to bu su hai adege se administer to bu su hai natraga se kaigumba law natraga release to exam to there are so many multiple meanings for it. Anyway, number four the mulaksi India and Japan have devised a mechanism for cooperation in the steel industry at the joint secretary level. Sigi word mechanism of word is sanabra new sana janadi ꯆꯥꯟꯅꯗ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯏꯔꯥꯏ ꯂꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯗ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯣ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯣ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯃꯥꯡꯍꯟꯗꯕꯤꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯣ
Sir, A.
Sir, none can kano oido male. Both B
Both
oido
1 and
male.
2.
Sir,
C.
C oido
Sir,
male.
B
C.
oido male.
yes
Sir,
very
A
true
oido
very true
male.
C ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯤ
C.
ꯑꯅꯤꯃꯛ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯏꯀꯣ system and method these two words are suitable as per the meaning mechanism ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯨꯠꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ system and a method ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯤꯅꯤ number 5 ꯇ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯆꯠꯊꯁꯤꯀꯣ number 5 ꯇ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯂꯥꯛꯑꯣ your business say premises which qualify for business your business premises which qualify for business asset taper relief have become too cramped hamper tꯧba ama hamper habadi kaino what's the meaning hamper habadi ayat papi du kari gawi hamper tauba gawi ko then sida piriba magi word sing sida hena chanaba habadi hamper tauba oidoribra natraga measure tauba oidoribra natraga se incline tauba oidoribra du yengo and word to khangda taragadi upai lete ko
Sir, C option C
A.
oido male. Hamper and inclined.
Sir, A oido male.
in a hamper your business
None
premises
can,
which qualify for yes I don't
none oido male.
none can replace
Oh, sir.
yes you're right none can replace what you do in the D yarabo and say hamper nothing it should be a none can replace the darka litre me your business premises which qualify for business asset hamper meaning to hana khang da yaro ko adana answer should be a anyway next question number 6 progress lazy question number 6 the misuse of governor's office the misuse of the governor's office to undermine the ability to discourage the duly elected state governments is a particularly mischievous disruption of federalism. Disruption to hana khangwa disruption khang taragadi what's the meaning of disruption adu khang mathau tagani ko disruption to wadi kana taseng magidi adi masidi karigumba na say nga koi ayat papi disruption ni it's all about disrupting or disturbing or to interrupting or interfering or to cause something say disturb or say stop habaneb lephan baneb adi karigum thaba manang pangthoken khali pod thabak de lephan madu kari to koi disruption to ko we adu taragadi we need to find out say disturbance obstruction or relevant
Option C.
But
Option C.
Sir, C.
Option C.
C man.
Option C is correct. Very well. Now we have done question number 6. Now, how many questions here? Sida hangi si question kaya naman hapit ng sidi kaya na sige parameters sidi question si 3 to 6 kata na hangi si. Ano 3 to 6 ta hangi ba question si basing siya. Si mag masaygi magi hangi ba pattern si hay ba di hangi ba pattern si kaya na masing sa si mag hangni hability helak pa siya tarak pa siya. Now si yung ay sa hay ba doni in sinamo kari kawi we need to say fill the right word. Double blank kawi ko siya. Double filler kawi blank ani ni piram do ni ko. In each of the following sentences, part of sentence are left blank. Beneath each sentence, 5 different ways of completing sentence are indicated. Choose the best alternative among the given options. We need to find out, say, the perfect pair of these blanks. We need to find a perfect pair. The kanga da bama na sida siyam section da basa kanam tumda. A chanaring khalasi. A sida chanaring khale. What ini? First option first word sa chanare. Ani sa option chanare adu yaro hai. Aduna ani ni to pairing to sentence matungina first blank to ka second blank to ka hena chanaba hena chunaba contradict to da ba ma darka legane ba gyan tarbo aduni aduna sida police notorious gangsters after relentless chase relentless habit lepa laitana hanba laitaba habaneba yandarabo never tiring chokthaba naidana that for 3 weeks arrest reign knave lasted snatch persist contempt endure apprehend sustain word adi pair is the word option manga lere adi option manga so out of these options you need to find a perfect pair
B.
yes
Net and lasted.
B.
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 yes that's B knave police name notorious gangsters yarabo I think sai ki mana phare ne name siga arrest to siga police na phaba arrest police arrest haibaga name haibaga kitang adi say little bit of difference kitang lay ni ko name to was it kana matamda ni du kana adi wanted laureba the person is wanted laure me do madu upai toraga madu phaba do madu name to ko arrest adi arrest to was it warrant ma paraga la phaba zu madu arrest warrant para kanda me do phaba yare har kanda house arrest to be language tongan leba ko house arrest kan laidana mai to dana arrest ka name can any moreover la second blank to sana badu di rain adi akoi gi pan bani adi rule to bani asagi last that happens in sooner boy anyway question number 8 tropical rainforest struck in fog and continuously by mist and downpours are lit by fires. Now let's try to know the meaning of the word. Say rainforest, tropical rainforest, struck in fog. Fog in a sense, what is that? Fog I think is like and it continuously by mist. Again, the similar meaning of mist happens to fog meaning of slightly similar meaning or nearby word ni and downpours di kaino nung taba na tro now downpour to where di adi nung taba so high ko adana are lit by fire ma haning is kaino first of all you should know the meaning of the words rejuvenate impact exhausted overwhelmed drenched affected or say approach influence devour or sway. So the word say arudu word kaya with drains happens in a kind of devour happens in a kind of sway happens in a kind of sway I target the kanagam influence to say by using certain forces maybe politically or maybe certain say forces to influence someone else. Then devour I target the to say to have something to eat something very say greedily yamna karamna adi chaning maduna po bane yam say angang mana yam chaning mo pona ma khon thona cha bu ma leidro maduzu divert over ko then drains happens ne kano drains habadi adi karigumba ma say nong tarak padagi pungchu solan ba ko say completely wait solan badu madu kari ko drains to bu ko adana sida people words in sida kan option ne chanai
C.
C ne chana ka mali sir.
Option C.
C.
Yes. Very true. C is exactly the suitable pair. Number 9. An interview is good chance. Interview is a good chance. Apa chance mani? Kamana is to how candidates difficult situation. Discuss, improve, assess, address, analyze, tackling, evaluate, approach, understand, enhance. The words repeated options which option or which pair is perfect as per the meaning.
D.
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 Evaluate and approach.
Yes, you're right. Definitely true. This is definitely D. This is the right answer. Have a good chance to evaluate how candidates approach difficult situations. Anyway, this is how we have done this 3 questions based on vocabulary. Asana khange ko si question is vocabulary based over no grammar. It's all about your verbal understanding or your verbal command. Done. Question number 10 to 12 ong 10 to 12 sida kayo no. Now this is about ang sentence improvement dun ko. Yung I underline tar ko. improve the bold power in the following sentence if needed. Darkar later if man last man word if needed habani. Darkar later we don't need to change the structure. No correction required. She's 100% hungry. Hungry question 10 to 12 question question ahum sige damak tadi naina badadi nang grammar whole grammar book to all bada yaro kanda practice adik practice to ngaming to yaro anyway let me read for you. He made himself master of practically every branch of medieval learning and has a thoroughly knowledge of the sources and the bibliography of his subject. Bibliography is like madu ina bona bada kari kari like sin like he have madu say a collection of books to madu kari koi reference books ma'am kari koi bibliography koi ko adu taga di mana pi ba underline to riba have the bold to riba sorry not underline bold to riba magi phrase hai batare ko wahi khara se has a thoroughly knowledge of the sources so the pi riba underline to riba masidi ki chana bado. We need to find out the word, the right, say, so the right choice as per the options given here. A, B, C, D, and E.
D.
D, sir.
D.
I'll go with D.
E.
Sir, D.
D,
sir.
D.
E.
Okay. E. Okay.
D.
Somebody said E. Shida, I will
D.
make it. Okay. Anyway, ko ngakang I see stop toge aduga mung lake sentence ko na sentence pa matamda si grammar gi para mani ko any I just tongan ba skill na matake I will skill maksuna tactics ni ko any sentence ma iramen kala sentence aha ma da ko na kamaina yenga de overlook to ya ponte ba I will di sentence ma pira me any sentence ma pira me sentence to matam yam chang divida matam yam long divida koina kamaina yengadagi hai targadi suppose sentence mi ramba obvious subject am yarangani verb am yarangani or object yarangani or complement yarangani the whole thing I mean say the sentence can be written in complex pattern or maybe in a say compound or maybe in simple pattern sentence am complex no irambe maybe sentence may be lengthy or maybe short or maybe quite simple as clear. Yam tiani na masue ba. Sentence nang yeng do subject cha hana yeng biru. Subject ma tung the verb tung yeng. Verb ti ma tung the lai ba mai object na complement tung yeng. Then si ma'am si pattern si I ba sentence ka ri da igi yeng ba. Si number 1 na di honi de tin sa na yeng masue ya de. Tin si na chum na i mo. Si ka tin si sentence ma ibang tung the tin sa base of the masue ya ponte. It is right and present. Present ibra. Right and present. Cool. Or past or future. You can apply all relevant rules of power of speech. Maybe in terms of noun, say pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunctions. Mayamam nang reference lo be ba. Man din magi sentence ki magi tense mo na yung so tense matong na sequence magto ne. Yarabo, relevant of magi elements ma'am to the sentence mana same je one e riba to the karam matam toy kari haribano present thokra past thokra hujiki warira hograba matam gira past kira have sequence and send the tense hana tan khang ta di sai sentence tense muning da bane kana go ni e na habiya e di na te ko e di obe suya de adama sida option sida amuk screen share tor ke mo kasi kari hai uji mana sida option p de option kari begin that say either having a thorough knowledge of Hibama, B that has had a thorough knowledge to Hibama. I think you must see that have a thoroughly knowledge for Hibama, or D that had a thorough knowledge. Thoroughly have a thoroughly is an adverb ni ko. Thoroughly is an adverb ni aduga say adverb ni aduga masagi thorough happens in adjective name. My daughter see matang sida koi na kang do kano. At least we have come to know the answer is definitely D. Question number say 10 11 nam lasi. Gioni has been found guilty for intentionally inflicting malware in over 20 million phones by a Chinese court. CD, question number 11. Gioni namasi guilty or no? Mana 20 million phone da million 20 million phones in mathakta malware is the inflictor of malware is this is something which can destroy your phone. The whole software will be what? Disabled. Chinese court charge A had been found guilty for, B has been found guilty of, C has been found being guilty with, D have found to guilty for, or E no correction required.
B.
B others
C oidou male sir.
C. Okay.
C do male.
B.
B.
B. Okay. I didn't respond to another no. I know I board to I know it I board to class to name. Today be guilty for having late. It's a question of what? It's a question of say appropriate preposition. Appropriate preposition da say something harabada si matang da amuk say si mu stop toge yung say si yung preposition ki based to question say man sang na da si yung say angry angry with haibama simple niko angry at haibama si kari kene then say die of haibama die from haibama die say die for haibama yung say meaning to ando ne si die with is angry with is na kayo no
With person. Person.
What's the meaning of angry with? I don't. Indrapras. Kangro. What's the meaning
Angry
of?
with the person.
Person.
Okay. Angry na kaida.
Behavior.
Things that.
Okay. Sina things that. I mean, sina me na tabako. Things are not in person, not in subjectivity. It refers to say certain objectivity, maybe the policy or maybe the behavior of a person, maybe the policy or maybe any sort of misconduct. Nang haying the matter, my matter, this is going to come to never. Me do matter my activity will be to nature will be behavior will be nang even alone on be angry with isn't kind of see the person me the name. Yeah, I go. So my daughter see pattern. Die opposite kind of come can die opposite. Very can
Disease.
Kari gumamna maje magi asiba hadi cost tawudo. Diet of high target kay gumba na amagumba na po or any accidental any incident to pamana maje like the boom sibudo adu odu.
Laina do na laina do budi die of chumeko. Die of as laina amana say COVID na nabadagi die of COVID can die of cancer can ever. See laina amana si bane. Die from as kay ano.
Oh, die from I do not accident gumbadagi. Natraga
season sma hero season maram mama hero. Adi reason
reason
then maybe say hunger saklam sak sa phang da bagi. Oh, sak sa phang hunger is laina de na te na hunger. Or starvation, or maybe say sunstroke. dehydration ต่อเองคือมันเลยน่าหมายถึงนั่นเองนะ the reason is นะ die force เนี่ยกันเนาะ C A U S E กูจะมาได้กี่die for country มัน country กว่าทำไมตัวนั้นสิ่ง pattern สักคนเนี่ยมันต่างกันมันต้องต่างกันนี่ยังไงสิ live on นั่นกันเนาะ live on นั่นกันเนาะ live by นั่นกันเนาะอะไรก็สิ live in นั่นกันเนาะ live in นั่นเลยมินนะบันนี่ family ก็เลยมินนะบันนี่ then live by นั่นกันเนาะสิ่งที่เขาเนี่ยสิอะไรกันเนี่ย
by อาจจะน่ะ rule ละมั้งยี่มาขาดอะไรก็เป็นแบบมาสร้าง rule
please try to speak a little louder and clear make Chingkhei me ก็ดีให้โนบะ
มาสร้าง
live on นั่นกันเหรอ
มาสร้าง rule ละมันจะแบบ live on จีน่ะต้อง continue living ตัว
meaning อันนี้ช่วยก็ live on จีน่ะเพราะฉะนั้นนะให้เด็กๆก็ต้อง convince ว่า live on ให้ได้ก็ดี number one dependence เนี่ยสิยันตาร์บ dependence ให้ได้ก็ดีก็ไม่ dependence ด้วยเนาะ suppose you see the cows buffaloes live on grass นับปีจะได้แต่ก็ดี herbivores animals นี่ก็ไม่หิงนี่มาอยู่ put web to that I think ใส่กี่ dependence เลยไปดูเนี่ยบ่ยันตาร์บ live on dependence เลยไปเนี่ยอามันน่ะมุกนั่นน่ะ cow บ้างนั่นก็ดีกูมั่งนั่นต้องนิ่งสิ่งก็ต้องเลยsay beer ตัวมันนี่สิเนาะ beer with unforgettable event ยันตาร์บ event นั่น for example นั่นน่ะ cow มันเดบะยันนุ่งไงเดบะ you lost someone else I lost my father and I live on let's say the memories I had with him suppose I had a wonderful memories with him how he nurtured me becoming me right here that it's all because of his contribution the way he nurtured me to the best of knowledge he can the point is this is beer on beer with unforgettable event มันต้องนั่งนิ่งๆก็ต้องไม่ว่าคันนิ่งอะไรแบบมันจะ live on ตัวก็แบบว่ามันเอา dependency เนี่ย dependency เลยแบบเนี่ย cows live on grass อะไรกันเนี่ยกันตาร์โบอันนี้ก็ live by อะไรกันเนาะให้ damayanti ข้างบน live by อะไรกันเนาะมากันเนาะ what is the meaning of live byก็ดีให้กี่ครั้งนี้ Harrison
rule ละมัน principle ละมันง่ายก็จะ
live by ให้แต่ก็ดี means มันตัวนึงก็ต้อง survive ตัวไป you can see people are say living by doing unwanted things ลังบีจะประมาณนั้นมี say there are so many vegetable vendors they are selling vegetables on the roadside on the dusty roadside and they are bound to earn money for their livelihood and it's definitely say unwanted but they are bound to live by doing such things selling vegetables on a dusty roadside มาดูบุนี่ก็ไม่ตัวนั้นจะได้ pattern สักคนมาคัลอุปพังกันนี่ก็ similar now let's back to the next questionมาตรงนี้สิว่าสิ่ง question สิมาคนอะไรเลยอะดูมาตรงด้าyes guilty to the guilty of irony have name question number 12 ยังไง question number 12 ตรงหลักสิ many people believe that voluntary bodies as they are today should not trusted with this national responsibility Sidi improvement darga lagi ni ko sidi lale kamay chumthok ni hero A B C D
D
option D is correct specificity darga la ne specificity ida ta sentence la la ne yare ko makata na yo amuk uzik next ano ba nga sa aina word swap to ba na hai ko do ang to screen mo nang to yung in each of the question kano hangin sa 13 to 14 kata ni ko in each of the following question given below 4 words have been highlighted which may or may not be at their correct positions. Mana lady word, lady man lady my word my position the madu chumamba yai. Pick the most suitable option to interchange the word so that the statement becomes grammatically correct and contextually meaningful. The word swept or what the word says, word things here. At this sequencing, show it in a kind of meaningful way. A high word, man, a black and bold word things here. Must rearrange the sequence in if needed. The M&Ms promise to directly pay women a monthly amount, may be competitive as a landscape to grab attention in an overcrowded, highly viewed electoral strategy. A competitive, B landscape, C viewed, D strategy. Now these are options given here that we have 4 words, and these 4 words are definitely in this order. I mean, we need to make it a proper sequence after knowing the meaning, comprehensively. Then certainly we can make a proper sequence. Option the C, D, A, B, B then no arrangement required. C then B, D, C, D then A, D, C, B, E then C, A, B, D. The sequence meaning word word things to don't lose the brand Kali. I know
Strategy.
A.
Sir, option A. Sorry, E male.
Option A. Okay. At idea arabo. Kitang proactive oy beduni ko aina laujari so.
Option C oigdo male sir.
Option C. No. Option A is already correct. Those who have said first A, final answer. Still, I'm trying to know what others think about it. Question number 14. The M&Ms promise to directly pay women a monthly amount may be viewed as a strategy to grab attention in an overcrowded, highly competitive electoral landscape. Question latest anyway, let's go for question number, say, 14. Word swept with the Indian economy gradually debating its fit after a historic contraction, economic commentators have finding themselves with viability, the need for fiscal means monetary expansion, and the visit of a V self-recovery. Sida mana in economy da haiba koi kan matang ni ko ada sida pi de word sing si mo yung ahan bada debating A, B finding, C viability di masana able to stand alone lepang zabadu ni, then say busy do ki magi kan se hari kaheta adjective mention ko sin active now we know the meaning of the words here, and which option is perfect as per the meaning of the sentence concerned here.
D.
D.
Yes, B or D?
D.
D.
D sir.
D.
Yes,
D.
it's definitely it should be delta D. We should say, with the Indian economy gradually finding its feet after a historic contraction, economic commentators have busied themselves with what? Debating the need for fiscal expansion and the viability. I don't know. So I'll answer here. It's definitely D delta. See, mas mai to na si pattern si malay ko. Adi ke mugi ngo si makata ba si di nengi passage ta lai passage si kona to si. Ang si kita muti tawar ko si passage si kona take. Habadi you have to go through the passage again, and I think we need to passage not but something else. Ko say see I'm interesting wa bani. Rearrange si yung si sentence parajumble na nga sa hai gibi ni ko jumble ni ni ko si parajumble sigi parajumble si kamana ko six yung rearrange the following 6 sentences A B C D E F in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph and then answer the questions given below. Hi there. Now si kamana adi sentence parajumble si kamana ko jumble is obviously prekada hangba paramani ko the kamana ko say how to solve it. Yamaru ready how to solve or rearrange. Kamana ko arrange to the gay habit yamaru ko rearrange the sentences. Sentence cannot be say obviously most of the time say 5 to 7 for example the parama small paramo iduni adra series the command to the han read or go through the sentences sentencing do muna paro yeah ko similar number 2 say know the crux or the theme. Theme natraga crux khangba je theme tan nang par nang reading skill tu na yamna poor targa di nang crux di line kari have no gyan tar roi adana obviously mathom man khang roi ba ko adana crux khangba sa nang gi man e riba theme do economy de imni khang di any theme di irmo yai adama mut tana ko crux khangba na to theme khangba je we should know we should have some say command over vocabulary similar right? Then number 3 da say yung keywords say keywords have the sentence amada magi sentence mari manga nadaga mga truk pidi ba magi sentence su peram samak tunina keywords khat yarong ane keywords say sometimes da koi gi contradiction ni daga na nevertheless hai gumba nevertheless hai my contradict to hai mini or say however some meaning that however she's contradict to have kangani while amarom da she's kangani that say nonetheless hiring kalasi sentence ko na magi sentence ki sequence randomly irmoidana somehow pagi meaning do kari da kari hari ge have do any sort of contradictory statement on pirak matamda hai ba six statement si keywords khangane sida nate conclusion sumangare conclusion da does ara me khalasi conclusion e khangani so hai me khalasi conclusion e khangani hence hai me khalasi conclusion e khangani sumada na magi kanu se parakanda my reading skills sai gi munna parakanda kari hari no kari matak theme je kari hai no scd theme do khang ta this sequence this step han business hogodabani ani subagi sina sumai thamgodabani ha sequence khangakane adana yo koi paminer se ko solve to kan da hoji si yeng se ko okay now let's go to the yes this is you go partly linked to drop in payment rates as consumers are struggling to pay their bills amid the market have any rising consumption and tight finances. This is partly linked to drop in payment rates. Partly linked to drop in payment rates. As consumers are struggling to pay their bills amid rising consumption and tight finances. Okay. B the high embracing energy efficiency can be a win-win solution. Win-win solution di yam easily solve to ba matang do bani ko yam na comfortably solve to ba matang do bani as this can bring down household energy bills and reduce this confirms say financial stress. The Indian government has sanctioned liquidity relief to help discoms tide over this crisis, but these are just short-term fixes. The rules lay down uniform performance standards for power distribution companies, it means discoms, and make them liable to compensate consumers in case of violations. E. The well-intentioned rules come at a time when Indian discoms are struggling to manage their finances. F. The Power Minister R.K. Singh recently announced what? The Electricity Write-off Consumers Rules 2020. From the right beginning till the end, how many sentences given here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sentences here. Right-off consumers right-off consumers consumers right-off consumers rules especially 2020 Power Minister na R.K. Singh na announce to sequence like team somehow we have understood that it's all about right-off consumers rules 2020, and which is announced by the Power Minister R.K. Singh. Team we need to make a proper sequence of these things. How can we make a proper sequence of this specific arrangement of sentences? Now you can think about it. See pattern sida hangiba question sina kayano haiba matamda. Look at it. Question kayano? Hangi si question se mga ne 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Question mga this question mga se sentence si taruk neba. Sentence taruk si di. Ang sequence mo tamda. Adi taruk magsiyang dabadi yaroy ba? Yare ko. Adana kamay na solve tawgadagi haiba do di. Ay sa hai gare. Koi pasu paminare. Kana kari kimtang haiba no right-off consumers kimtang haiba ni. Kanama rules no 2020 the Power Minister na announced to give the rules. Now you can just read it again. Nasana sequence same na ba nasana paro muka. You please read it again. Read the sentences once again as per your convenience, and you can solve the questions given down here. Sequence hana same to A, B, C, D, E, F sidane. Kamera 1 ogadagi, kamera 2 ogadagi, kamera 3 ogadagi do. Hana sequence same to matung da. Adi option de matung ina ko na. Adi A1 jana C oire. Hybrid sing mo confirm to receive. Toro.
Sir, shigi paragraph ki rearrangement of wages any tricks like not the video question paraga atra yenga chanaba kumba yeng not the
trick specifically trick magi trick na ngasai kasu dok pa yam kahan ba yam scientific or ba na yam na ibd feasible or ba trick ti dok pa di late ko you can read any any like to some any yung ko ta sing with adu reading skill as di tongan ba skill mani pa pages si par kan da ad pages ha ba di sai sentence taruk si taruk te helama su par kan da phajana mu ta na magi manung theme se mu ta na khang kan da si matang haibani haidana sequence same to ga sequence same kan da like to bune to bu ko na word command haibadi sentence ki structure plus scenario wahi wata mam to khang da ta ga di ko sequence same sungam ngam adu sungam ngam ro du. There is no mantra for this. Mantra di like ko. Mantra in the sense that there's no scientific, say technique or so-called, very feasible technique. And high give duni para kanda sequence crux to hana kanu hona thokani plus scenario magi wahi wata keyword conjunction jeng mamu tana khang wana gani kari iri sentence twist prasat tabra adike mase adu kaktani ko. Try to renge. You can just try.
Sir, FEADCB.
F
EA,
FEEA.
DCB.
No, F is okay. After F, we need to, you need to, rethink about a structure. I mean, the very first sentence should be F as it is very clear. But the second sentence should not be
D 어디로 sir?
huh?
D 어디로
C
Second
sir?
sentence should be D.
D 어디다가 C 나타보고 아이버디 Power Minister RK Singh recently announced electricity rights of consumers rules 2020 하이든가 아주 맞동 따고다 the rules laid down in uniform performance D 두나 sentence 맞동 따라보다 link 떠로 야래코 아주 맞동
ꯃꯊꯪꯗ
따라보다
E ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ
ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ yes obviously ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ E ꯂꯥꯛꯇꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯦ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨꯅ F ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯅꯤ ꯑꯅꯤꯁꯨꯕꯗꯨꯅ D ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯅꯤ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯨꯕꯗꯨ D 두고 짠나버디 렘호르베스인데 E 는 짠나이 해봐 야라보 E는 third sentence 오라 마동다 그이 오라니 fourth 그이 오라니
මꯊꯪ C CAB
ACB.
no
No,
it should be A should be fourth A is not fourth 오더니 야래코 아이 야마루 콜럼 라이 나코코 스마이트 오더나 C 마땅시데모 하마데 F 오레 first sentence F second sentence E third second sentence sorry D third sentence E fourth sentence A lemorobus in the fifth kamoini
fifth C ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯅ ꯆꯥꯟꯅꯗꯧ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ
yes fifth should be
last D ꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯍꯜꯂꯕ B ꯁꯤ
yes to me and then finally answer is say F
D
E A
C B
C B C 오더버 야래코 맞다나 C sequence 많이 same 도이네 스마이트 오더나 아코이나 ಅದನ್ನ ಸಿಗಿ quick ಅನ್ನೋಸಿದಿ rearrangement ಸಿದಿ yam line hector ಸಿದಿ yam line 가 nakkudak tatobudi yabadi natiko aduna kitang ju khalla kanda kitang adum chongthorkani ko anyway in the meantime yung sina muk kaino se si sentence mu yengasi ko sentence kaina matamda yung masagi sentence improvement duni ko in each of the following questions 4 sentences are given and you have to choose the one which has some or any grammatical error in it if all the given 4 sentences are correct choose option E as your choice adudi sijumak ay matam pirage habadi say just think about it no solve toroko question kano say 27 to say 30 ko ay aru mo column lang to pai ke sim to solve toring so please solve the question from 27 to 30 by yourself.
Sir, please zoom out the screen.
Kaya ba?
Please zoom out the PPT. Sheng no udre, sir.
Udre. Yara ba? Yara ko.
Yes.
27 to 30. Say these are the questions. Sorry. I won't do it. 27 to 30 is there. Question sum nagi kano? Mari khata ne bangis. Grammar based question ni. Munna khalla kam to solve toro. Question mari khatani ko hangi ba question se question mari khatani aduna noigi knowledge to ai kayam chumna tawge haibadu yengsi karma lan begi habani ko chumma khandok panate sidi you have to choose the one which has some or any grammatical error in it. If all the given four options are correct, choose option E is right. You just choose heaven. It means it's we're trying to find out or to locate the option which is erroneous or incorrect from the given options. Where 27. Where bro?
27C.
You guys jump to select 27 is maharo.
C.
C is correct. The reason being, C Hong Kong should no sooner erase its colonial past, the Beijing. God, the no sooner lag the den lawidro. Adana Hong Kong should no sooner erase its colonial past, then Beijing should demolish the Forbidden City. This is definitely what? The answer is C. 28. Now let's read again. 28. I don't see solve the bra. The growth conundrum that Kanti Bhai and Suresh Bhai plan to solve is perhaps the same which a majority of MSME owners in the country face. B. India needs a nationwide consumer awareness campaign on energy efficiency. C. Record GST inflows in December. Augur. Well, the economy is still in a flux. Augur habadi predictable duniko. A forecast over the D. The country requires a new political instrument for governability. Or E. All are correct.
Sir, D.
A, B, C, D, E.
D.
Answer.
Sir, E we don't want.
I want that you should make me confident. It should be A or B. Or do Mali have it. Sometimes that plausible answer might be incorrect, you know. What we assume sometimes, you know, we say contradicts at the end.
Sir, A.
Is correct. You're right. Let me just see the reason. The growth conundrum that Kanti Bhai and Suresh Bhai plan to solve is perhaps the same. The same high target D. That had is which however that a majority of MSME owners in the country face. We should use. Other than isalo ng class the white paper and isalo. The same high say. The same high big matung tarakpada. That's in the bed. He is the same guy. Even person does He's the same guy that came yesterday. Then let's talk about 29. The government has, please pay attention. The government has significantly weakened what? The critical duty imposed by the law on patentees or licensees to disclose patent working information. A. B. Too much of strong leadership has robbed India of its democratic exuberance ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ excited ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯗꯨꯕꯨꯅꯤꯀꯣ and constitutional dynamism. C. Core sectors recorded yet another contraction in November, with cement and steel slipping back after a minor upstick. D. Many of his pieces have designs in size or in relief, and others are skillful, decorated with gold and silver.
D là sir.
D.
Lale, sir.
D.
D. D ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯗꯕ right.
Make changing high one minimum.
D.
D.
B.
D là sir.
D lale.
Full
Take D.
D.
Others, girls.
D.
D.
E, sir.
D. You're right. Definitely D. Let me just talk about the reason why. Many of his pieces have designs in size or in relief, and others are skillfully
Fully.
decorated. Adverb is going to go. Others are skillfully decorated. Now we have 30 questions. See next question just tarai question frame level question number 30. The gender gap in the agriculture sector will only widen more with the current farm laws. 1. B. Journalism focuses on a narrative of gloom that forces many people to avoid news altogether. C. Journalism creates a better informed citizenry, which in turn creates a better collective future. D. There will possibly be a unanimous rejection of the Republican objections to Joe Biden's electoral votes. And E. Option given here. Don't give me hasty answers.
All are correct.
Sir, option E.
Option E.
E, sir.
You're right. I think answer is definitely twisting, but I would say the answer is E. All are correct. So mine. So mine to the siki patterns me lere. At the see hangi patterns na sana zo kangore kamai tauge have. See I see zima kano sini si pattern siki sila luare ko 30 question katani. Aduga siki part 3 city just aina hadi semak pani ko aduna sida yengo si part 3 sida si column sem pattern duni aduna aina finally aina kona harakani kari no banking ga top exam kari kana ge have ko yengo si tor se ko wa budi war mane because wa bana ai gatani ko in lawr no di taba gatani amna yengo the eagle was afraid to fly into the sky. I don't know. Column 1 go. Then the shrewd businessman quickly. Freelancing has always been a popular way to earn money online. Column 2 in spite of the internet has a plethora of options. Plethora I think say more than necessary. Plentiful have never go. After remaining in captivity for 2 years, grab beneath the opportunity and earn a huge pile of money. We need to make a proper sequence of all of these, column A and column 1 and 2.
Sir, C.
The sequence simple practice to one matam time. Simple to one kind of we need to do immense practice. Cantaraba. Adu matam lang yam line as tackle to one exam limited para kay kanto no me. I don't.
Sir, C or do
Me makatang Heidi. What about others?
Sir, C.
C.
D. D.
Sida magi chummiba pattern haibadi yongo kari hage matamda the eagle was afraid to fly into the sky haireba ko aduga sanabasi ega mu yengo ega se kamai toge ha matamda after remain in captivity for 2 years muna tasiko ngakang khango 6:40 hardly 8 minutes to go lore matam bulo mani simple tausi ko ado sida in hiding ina the eagle was afraid to fly into the sky haireba after remain happy yaroi after remaining habitab adana ega dama adu dama yaroi after remaining kept in captivity for 2 years so A is out is ruled out yareko adi mu yengo the shrewd businessman quickly what grab beneath the makha beneath adi mam beneath the ocean haidro adi magi level du ki pagi se maning haibane manung dane adi maning haibane te manung haibane beneath the ocean suppose samudra makha se kaili even volcanoes are there sometimes it erupts dead or say what do you call that dead volcanoes or so dormant volcanoes adu buk lay mai ta grab beneath haibadi yaroi kai hanadi grab onto the opportunity haikane onto onto adu sung la le the shrewd businessman quickly grab onto onto kangani ko adu su muk la la mani then again what is next freelancing has always been a popular way to earn money online in spite of in spite of the internet has a plethora of options in spite of meaning in spite of the adu and in spite of in spite of the and conjunction do muk la leba in spite of the mahak kan hona jaraga su mana kan change jaraga su in spite of being a hard worker he cannot crack exam hiding but negative tangang po in spite of that internet has a plethora option have the 100% la ne yan darabo therefore we don't find any kind of coherence between the sentences given in these columns A, B, C, D, E. So we should say it's none of these. Gyan tahu bro?
Tahu sir.
Hadi concept tu ne apa na jik ega nang na samjannare tashnare remaining harani the big F ka muk samjannare binit haibai ya de binit maning haibai makha da haibani adiki muk se C ga D ga muk pair semasi adu su muk su in spite of the negative contradictory of a statement in a money adu su yaroi freelancing has always been a popular way to earn money online and the internet hagadam conjunction and sinagadam therefore C ga D ga su la le number 2 Passage column C question 2 jum toro yes yung
D sir.
Mun khandi khalo he la midin nungai te di mun khandaga di your slide observation might be terribly wrong you need to think and rethink as per the options given sometimes what we think hastily might be wrong the audience gave the veteran musician what the audience gave the veteran musician in the country today and covers over 50% of Kerala households.
Option D.
Kudumba City is one of the largest women empowerment projects. A standing ovation. Children who have been victims of the violence are more likely to drop out of high school before graduation than their peers. Peers here, Masi. I don't.
D.
Option D.
Option
D.
D.
Sir B oidero. Sir B oidong ma. Sir B oini.
Sida akoina option si akoina karigumba B de option B de taragadi only A and E and B and D na haire ko. Aduga kanagumna se D no so high A and E, B and D, C and F na haire. Amug si analyze to rasi, please. The audience gave the veteran musician ko. The audience na veteran musician da karipi a standing ovation. Clear. Veteran musician do maduda audience yengi ba mayam dana lep khalaga thagat pa phongdueba standing ovation hai taragadi adu duma chumme correct pair A and E. Yare ko. Then option B and D. Option B ga D ga mu yengasem. Kudumbasri is one of the largest women empowerment projects in the country. What today and covers over 50% of Kerala households. Again, B and D is also correct. C and F, children who have been victims of violence are more likely to drop out of high school before graduation than their peers. This option is also correct. Therefore, answer is here. Option D is the final answer. That's it. It's all about your reading skill and your comprehending skill. Your reading comprehension skill do name. Sida grammar yam technical ba grammar kara de kari soge A da lamra B da lamra do natte heba. Question number 3. The tsunami swept over the island. It will spur more Indian entrepreneurship. The printer was out of ink and so promise of growth and vitality. Hopefully, the momentum at both PhonePe and Paytm destroy over $2 billion of property. Kanino? Mining is that. Now you must read before you answer me. Answer the high sequence. We're just trying to make sequence. That's it. Making a pair. I did match the following to what's the money, but what the meaning to Mamatana Kangagadi sense to land your name.
Answer C.
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 Sir.
Sir, option C.
Yes, you're right. Option C, final answer. The tsunami swept over the island and destroyed over $2 billion of property. Correct, Nesiti. Yandarabo, other than Tsunami laka and the kamai obviously my tsunami lak the destruction, mass destruction talk to you. $2 billion of property done. See me go. Biga ega muk peering a saber. The printer was out of ink. And hence, so promise of growth and vitality. Other the city command pierce and the lala never the Yandarabo. Printer to ink out the growth and vitality to show them. How can it be compatible? This pair is not compatible at all. Then again, C and D. Hopefully, the momentum at both PhonePe and Paytm will spur more Indian entrepreneurship. It's a matter of fact. See the chumul level from the PhonePe, Paytm, Indian entrepreneurship, young entrepreneurship. So can take any. See the not mama. Ma'am like so my we have the answers here. This is C, only A, F, and C, D. Question number 4. The angry mob. How because angry mob is the man say angry mob hieronico mob the angry heavy at the just you just use the word just the mob. The reason being angry is itself say move but the assault but music do bunny other ang move angry is in a bit the mass it's ma printing error ni lower ni ko. Anyway, on the lines of this defense public sector undertakings, the center is converting the factories into multiple companies, but upon the thief mercilessly. The 4 indicators for the hunger index are undernourishment, child stunting, child wasting, and child mortality. You want to see the column 1, 2 pire. Sidai Ahmed and Heiser mob the angry because itself mob is what a group of angry people. Mob the angry have a word so yarbanina in Hypercatane do correction correction. Now let me evaluate. Now what should be the proper pair?
D.
Yes?
D.
D.
C.
D too many. Only D. D is correct. You go on. Next, number 5. Number 5 tong mo. My sister found with 2 boys. His son failed to secure good marks of mathematics. She's marks, good marks in mathematics. Often she's printing error. Marks of mathematics. The anguished cricketer lashed out and won the surprise test. The father was deeply pained as the journalists when they went to ask him question. Now let's make a pair. Question number 5. 5.
Oh yeah, that's easy. One year day, 2 1.
That.
Mic to off toro, mic to off toro.
I don't know. You do know that. The 1 year 2.
Sir, B.
I don't.
C oidaba sir, only CD.
Answer B.
Yes. Somebody
Sir,
said
B.
B. B is the final answer. B do iduniko. Kayo naman tanda. Yung my sister found with 2 boys and won the surprise test. Contextually incorrect. The anguished cricketer lashed out at the journalists when they want to ask him question. B and F. The father was deeply pained as his son failed to secure good marks in Hagename. Mathematics of it's definitely incorrect in mathematics Hagename. Go. Number 5. Number 6. Kitang tuna. 6. Yes, please. I don't. Question number 6.
D.
Sir D.
Sir, D.
Sir D.
D. 6, yeah. D. D. Oiba, yeah, D.
Sir, C.
The C oidaba.
Sir, C with the
Sir, C.
C. The pairing C. Ega. Ko. As it ega katang chani. Answer D. Ega katang chani. To pati langani. First, it is high time we look forward to non-conventional and renewable energy sources like hydroelectricity, solar energy, and wind energy. Ado tama grammatically chumme. Una tao ko kamay lalino yung oba. B ga D ga mo pair semasi. An asset is take as non-performing while haven't while when hay ka when while do lale when hay ka ni. Yara ko. Adigi mo C ga F mo yung si large number of rural people and students belonging to poor sections of society cannot avail ki matong dadi kay dong tu iba suya di yan tarabo cannot avail of beware of hydro. Suppose when how you write on your say on the very front say side of your gate beware of dogs hydro aduna beware of haiba madana
Off.
avail ga matung tarakadasu of idaba suyadev kangani ko yan tarabo aduna beware avail of these benefits of internet and virtual education. Answer here. This is only A and E. Okay. Number 7. We will do this and we will say why not? Degraded. You will go degraded into minuscule particles by the sun's ultraviolet rays. Munatazi video di minibo munatazi ko yung kare hare degrade into minuscule particles of by the sun's ultraviolet rays. B, modern advanced technologies and automatic signaling systems, noise pollution and water pollution add to A, B, C D, E, F should be introduced from all sectors of the Indian railways. E, the inimical environmental state of the Union territory. F, plastic is eaten by the fish and consequently through the food chains reaches all other marine animals. Now we need to say look for the perfect pair of this option number 7.
Answer B.
Munna khalag hairoko. This is the last question we're going to solve it.
Sir A.
Answer is B.
Somebody said A, somebody said B. Degraded into minuscule particles by the sun's ultraviolet rays. Plastic is eaten by the fish.
Sir, C.
Just think about it. A and F. Plastic is eaten by the fish and consequently through the food chain reaches all other marine animals. First, A and F is correct pair. Grammatically and contextually correct. B and D, modern advanced technologies and automatic signaling system should be introduced, not from. Should be introduced in all. From the tene, preparation the lines should be introduced in all sectors of Indian railways. Introduced in, not from. The lale ko na B ga D ga pair dama incorrect way ni invalid. Okay, let's talk about C and E. C, wait a minute. It should be C and E. And we go. Noise pollution and water pollution add to the inimical environmental state of the Indian territory. This is again correct. Noise pollution and water pollution add to the inimical environmental state of the Indian territory. This is E, C and E is also another pair. It's perfect pair. So finally, we can certainly, conclude to that is A and F and C and E. Final answer is D. Now,
Inimical has okay.
inimical hai targadi says sometimes when there is some sort of say relation da fattabani khangde inimical hai targadi something adverse or hai tare ni hostility labado nungsina da ba hai tare ko marina inimical state hai targadi lady people unfavorable ba ko say at meeting sit in the soup sometimes palak the yawi ko aduna still we're about 40 more than 40 students are sitting online here. Now how do you feel and how do you observe the questions that we have solved together right from the beginning? Yamna ID question si lubra libra, and we have done sort of say the latest pattern of examination, how questions can be raised out of vocabulary, then say reading reading tactics or reading questions, reading based questions, grammar based questions, mama, koi nahi na re. Column kamana peer semi. Nahi na re. Word to kamana swap to me. Adusu nahi na re. Then sentence kamana correction to we adusu nahi na re. CD Canoni, it's all about orientation, how questions are being set up, especially for banking, exams. Perhaps you are, say, looking forward to preparing for, say, prelims or mains. Pattern di kita kasi Canada gasu exam ki format to di dum adi madudi dum asagi in high gi ba naina gi ma'am do masi parameters ma'am do naina da di arwe adana grammar based questions madu sumaru oigani aduga asagi verbal based questions yam line logo no sik ure dana kamai questions kamai setup tawi have do adu nasana zu khangna aduna asai cover si editorial basic nunti kasi pung ko mari lebi pung khai am di paw pung khai am pa under Facebook pa WhatsApp pa that you spend more than hours and hours. So why don't you spend at least 30 minutes for reading, editorial page. You'll find so many words, so many vocabulary words. Word building is tangai padavani ko. I know. Should I exaggerate to banate? And why should I exaggerate? Exaggerate to because sumatho suta deba ko. And then I think at the end of this session, we have come to know that how should we prepare? Verbal based question, grammar based question, then comprehension based question. Ultimately, thank you. Writing session ko essay or letter is na kon lakada po naman yan. Yarabo. Kari hanggang mo kalari. Yarabo. Any doubt?
Ninja.
Ado sumay tawsi matangi session dati sumay na ngasi specifically orientation kita mag exam ki pattern to puthoga latest kari hangyan na kung naina mo katani ado matangi session dati adi grammar ki chapter ki magi miscellaneous tense ki miscellaneous noun ki miscellaneous article ki miscellaneous preposition miscellaneous mayam to pula punsa laka na masai guilty for do lalangani guilty of ha gidra mai to na dugma mayam du matang manaw na systematic na satharakanda adi akogi kaida preparation do yamna adi phajaba preparation ma mong ta preparation mo oidu ne yare ko. So I welcome you all and say I'll see you in the next class. Thank you so much.